Hey guys, Tom Duday here, and you're listening to The Crowject.
Walker needs to kick accurately, and he has. Oh, what a lifter for the
excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal.
Oh, don't tell me.
He's a superstar.
Don't tell me. Oh!
Bounces straight up, leaves a path the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Crowject podcast. Just want to give a shout out to our sponsors off the top, as always, in Trojan Aluminium and Payne Med SA. Unfortunately, as per usual, there are some absentees, but the majority of us are here. We'll get to them around the table now. Damon.
G'day, mate. How are you?
I'm good. For those that haven't seen the video on Facebook, we are not doing Wednesday Night Live because there is a massive pod to get to. Unfortunately,
if you listen to this now, you know we didn't do Wednesday Night Live.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So don't go looking for it.
Unless you're a time traveller who's taking this back in, just don't worry
if
about
it.
If you are a time traveller, let us know how all this turns out, please.
Yeah. And if you want to let us know how much we lose to Brisbane by, that'd be great.
And where it's been played.
Yeah. Leighton.
Yeah, how you going?
I'm good. And last but not least, Benny Mac is back.
Yeah, how you going?
Good. Shout out to Elodie and Pete, who could not be here. They will be with us next week from all reports. Now, tonight is a big night. Damon's looking to reclaim his Patreon.
I've got to find the list now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He wants to break the record again. But for those of you that haven't signed up or would like to, please head over to patreon.com/Crowject. And if you do sign up, you are entitled to what, Leighton?
Episodes of Get Your Crown. The second part of the Andrew Bennett episode was released last week.
Ripper.
Went for over an hour, and that was just the second part. And we have another guest lined up to record next week. So
Lovely.
they keep rolling.
We've also got episodes of Obscure Crow.
We do.
New episodes of Obscure Crow coming up. We've got what feels like endless episodes from the Graham Corns tapes that Leighton's furiously working through.
Yes.
I've tried my hand at writing a couple of articles, a couple of opinion pieces. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, check those out as well. And there's a whole bunch of different interviews that we've done over the journey, AFLW players, all sorts of stuff. You won't be bored.
Yeah.
And
when you sign up, you get free merch.
What merch do you get?
Get yourself a lanyard, stubby holder, and a bottle opener.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
As far as a Crom Beanie update goes, unfortunately, COVID has put this all into uncertainty, I guess.
Yep.
We just haven't got them yet, so you'll get them eventually, guys.
Said.
Excuse me.
That wasn't a COVID cough, was it? It was just
No,
a
it
mucus cough. That's
No, I'm just good.
oh, good.
Yeah,
Great.
no. It's nothing major. I've been tested.
Oh, good. How sweet is that text message when it rolls through?
The best.
Isn't it?
But I'll tell you what, it's not sweet when they poke your brain
Oh, yeah, right.
when you're going through for the test.
Yeah. Hello, I'd like the back of my eyeball scraped vigorously,
Yeah,
please.
please.
Yeah, both
thank you.
sides.
Both sides.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the time.
Yep. Now open your mouth up wide, please. Oh, really? You're going to poke down to my kidneys? Thank you so much. But yes, if you do want to buy one, you can head to project.bigcartel.com. I don't know how many beanies have been sold because Pete's not here.
Lots.
It's
A number.
Yeah. We are blown away, to say we are humbled by the amount of Crom beanies that we see around just day to day and at different sporting events and
I think
stuff.
the total is over 1,000 now.
That's
over
just
1,000 beanies.
stunning. It's amazing. And by buying a beanie, you're helping us not only fund Fight MND, you're also helping us with a whole bunch of other charities, which you can see on our Facebook page and our socials.
Okay, let's hear. We're here for the world record.
Oh, are we doing it?
Yes.
Have you got the list?
I've got the list.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to get some music behind this one, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to find it.
We're going to start putting some production value behind this now, are we?
Give me 2 seconds. All right, I've got the music here. And your time starts now.
Samuel Curtis, arguably AFL, Callum Ryan, Amelia, Frank Milanese, Jacob Pearce, Sharon Cameron, Matty Irwin, Geedy Gov, Ethan Thomas, Christy Bainish, Harry Nelly, Martin Head, Kim Ryder, Aaron Shearer, Dan Yanch, Brendan McGarrigan, James Payne, Caitlin Stevens, Crow Tricolours, Chris Daniel, Sarah James, Adams, Aurelio, Joel Coutinho, Zen Ronaldo, Martin Adams, Tom Schultz, Michael Bornholm, Nathan Bryan, Caroline Scomar, Lucky Glasbrook, Andy Munro, Peter Everett, Shane Muddy, Simon McDonald, Aidan Gain, Jeremy Jezza Withers, Lachlan Dand, Well Ian Mitchell, Lord Nathan Williams, Jason McKay, Pete Nash, Matt O'Brien.
Ooh.
I don't feel good about that one.
Does anyone remember what Cream's time even was last week?
No.
23.4 or something.
Well, you're going to have to try again next week.
Jesus.
25.06. So it is faster than your first
I was
one.
going to say, that is better than...
Yeah, true.
Yep.
All right, should we carve it on the wall behind us? Like, should we have a leadership board going, do you think? Or?
Yeah, well, that's the reason clearly that Elodie's not here tonight because
Yes.
last week I told her that it was her go tonight and she's trying to get out of it. Not that easy, mate.
No. I was always going to reclaim my crown.
Yes.
So she's just avoiding a fight with me over who gets to read this
Exactly
out.
right.
Which
Yep.
is gutless, frankly, Elodie. No, we love you. We can't wait to see. Should we just mention Elodie's probably doing a mountain of work at the moment in her day job, and
Yes.
she's an absolute hero, and we love her. And best of luck, Elodie. We know you'll be listening to this, and we're all thinking of you, mate.
Shout out to all the nurses out there as well, putting in a lot
100%.
of time and effort. Now, we didn't touch on the other merch that you can get through the crowjack.bigcartel.com store. There are hoodies, scarves. You'll see the scarves on a video we put up tonight, stickers and bucket hats.
And we got phone cases coming soon as well.
All of it.
Bit of sizzle on the phone cases.
Last but not least, in the intro, just want to plug the City to Bay participation. Ben, tell them about it. What's the deal?
Well, we're walking the walk and talking the talk for the City to Bay Fun Run in conjunction with the Press Box for childhood cancer, I believe it is.
Correct.
And the boys over there might have noticed we made a little donation last week with a very special number attached to that. So I'm sure Jack Hudson is absolutely loving it, and I won't
Yes.
mention his group of people this week. So I got slandered over here last week.
I reckon you do not speak for everyone on this podcast. We are not all whatever the term is. I don't even know.
Masonites? I don't know.
Yeah, Hudsonites or whatever.
No idea.
But looking forward to getting into the City to Bay. Should probably start training, really. It's a couple of months away.
Just shock your body into it. It'll be fine. What's
Should be
the
right.
worst that could happen?
Just like a
However, it is good to see that we're not also the only ones doing something for this cause. It was brought out on the 7AFL Facebook page in the last couple of days that Luke Hodge is doing a marathon, I think, in the Gold Coast to raise money for childhood cancer as well. So whether you donate to us or him, who cares?
Got to say, I got very, very excited. I thought, wow, look at the pull of the press box that Luke Hodge is going to come in. And then I read a little bit deeper. In Queensland. Oh, okay. I thought maybe Tugwell's star had risen so far that he was able to get in touch with.
Sean Craig Murphy's nearly poster boy.
That's it, exactly. Yeah.
Here's my plan. I'm going to go over to Gold Coast.
I just do a
manage to-
virtual marathon.
I'm
Get
gonna-
him on a treadmill with a feed of
Yeah.
the race.
I'm going to manage to keep up with him for the entire marathon and talk him into coming back here for the City to Bay by the
Sure.
time he's done.
Tell you what, if you do that and you convince him, I'll pay your airfares.
Done.
Please, Hodgie. Please.
Yeah.
Come to Adelaide,
Yeah,
Hodgie.
just annoy him to death. How about now? You want to come now? But that is enough for the intro. Unfortunately, we have to get into the news.
Which is weird and complicated today.
So a bit's happened since our usual recording that we've missed on Monday.
This is why I'm not
Yeah,
going to
we-
speak
we-
for everyone. We should always do the pod on a Wednesday and make it Monday Night Live if we can. Because everything happens on a Tuesday. I feel like every time we get off on a Monday night, something happens.
No, I might have a look into it.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of us, the biggest news
No
of
one
the
saw
day
this coming.
is not football related, so
No.
it doesn't matter about what time. COVID doesn't schedule press releases.
Very true.
Just sort of pops up.
Yeah, Nicholas Berry was like, we'll wait until the Crowjack are getting off the air on a Monday night.
That's right.
To put the wheels in motion.
Yep.
And we
Absolutely.
caught him. Because
Yes.
we were like, no, we're not going to do it on Monday
Not
this
getting
week.
sucked in this time. Nicholas. Got him.
God bless you, Nicola, by the way.
So yeah, there was a game last weekend.
Are we going to that, or are we going
Yes.
to talk about the elephant in the room?
No, you want to get to the elephant in the room later?
Cue the soundbite.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Because this is just going to set up
It is now the VFL.
pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. So, someone stop me if I get any of this wrong, by the way, because it's been evolving since about 11 o'clock this morning.
Might have changed about 2 minutes ago, so you could be.
Who knows? I mean, I was about to get in the car and then you put something in our chat about... Anyway, so what? This morning...
At present, we are reporting what we believe.
That's right. At Wednesday, the 30th, at about 5 to 8. This is literally how up to date we can be. So, as far as we're aware, COVID cases in South Australia, a family of 5, currently doing the right thing, locking down. By the sounds of it, we're not experts here, but by the sounds of it, they did everything right, these people, and they got tested and they isolated.
Yep.
Good on them. They
And
deserve
that
a medal.
deserves a big tick.
Absolutely.
The most famous family in
Aren't
SA.
they? Yeah. So all that needs to be said about them is good on you. You've done everything you could. Now, They're in isolation. That's thrown everything into disarray. I thought up until about midday we'd be in a lockdown by now.
Yep.
So we didn't even think this would be happening.
But we're not in lockdown.
We're not in lockdown. Hallelujah. Now we get news that the Crows and the Power are about to get on a plane and fly to Melbourne.
Yes.
To join the other interstate teams. I believe
Yeah.
Brisbane, Gold Coast, Freo and West Coast had already
Already
flown
there,
over.
Yeah, Freo and West Coast flew over earlier in the week on a plane together,
Yep.
which
I
must
did
have
see that.
been a hell of a trip.
Yep.
You saw the photo with like one on one side, one on the
Yeah,
other?
yeah,
yep.
Just staring at each other down the
Typical
aisle.
16-year-old birthday party. All the boys in one corner, all the girls in the other. Just segregated.
But the latest development seems to be that the Crows will be able to play in Adelaide after all. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, that's what I read. So the game will still go ahead here on Saturday. So effectively, Brisbane and us will fly back into Adelaide and then fly back to Melbourne afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. The
This
press
was-
conference. Sorry, Lane.
This was VFL's plan all along. First, get the Eastern States, lock them in.
Yeah.
And then fly over SA and WA teams and base them in Victoria and just fly them
Brilliant.
back to Adelaide to play a game.
I wonder what the
Perfect.
conditions are about them flying back in. Can they go back to their homes?
Well-
For example, if a bunch of the blokes' misses come to the game and they want to take them home for an hour before they go back to the airport,
Right.
is that allowed? Or are they essentially...
Masks on.
Yeah,
masks on.
masks on. Please wear your mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did have a great comment earlier on the very quick live video we did, which was just very simply, Tex, wear your mask.
Yes.
We couldn't agree more.
Very
Tex,
true.
wear your bloody mask,
We
mate.
don't want to deal with any more fines.
No, thank you. But yeah, it's from what I understand, Adam Kelly did a press conference earlier today.
It lasted about 3 minutes as he was on the way to the airport. I think.
Literally, yeah, he was
Yeah.
in the car park at Westlakes waiting
Yeah.
to get into a car to go to the airport. From what we understand, the players were told to pack for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Highly doubtful they'll be there for 2 weeks, but no one honestly knows. It looks like they're going to basically get to Tullamarine, spend a night in a hotel in Melbourne overnight, and then when they get the all clear, they'll fly back with Brisbane. But who the hell knows? It could change. You could be listening to this tomorrow morning and going, man, these guys are so out of date.
So when we do the round 16 predictions, we'll just be doing it Elodie style. We'll be looking at the pitches, and that's it. 'Cause we don't know when they're playing, where they're playing.
We don't know who's playing.
No.
There are a couple locked in. I think we have Carlton Geelong or Carlton West Coast locked in GMH.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hang your hat on that
And
match.
I was going to say, that's in Geelong, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Ugh.
Essendon are playing in Geelong for the first time in 30 years or something as well.
Yeah.
Heard
Who are they
on the
playing
way.
in Geelong?
I think it might be Geelong.
So whose home game is this? I think Carlton. Is it Carlton's home game? I think it is because Carlton get a whole lot of money out of this from the AFL, and they would have seen that West Coast got done by like 108 points when they played down in Geelong
Yeah.
earlier this year. So they win all round. They're like, West
Absolutely.
Coast can't fucking play down there. We get extra coin.
Mm.
Win-win.
And this is where it gets a little bit, like you say, VFL-ish, Leighton, where it makes sense. Like Melbourne is the perfect place right now to host all the teams, don't get me wrong.
But 2 weeks ago, it
Yeah,
was the
right?
opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of a sudden, a bunch of Victorian clubs are rubbing their hands together,
Mm-hmm.
going, yeah, we got the unfair home advantage. That's probably the least we have to say on that because, like, footy, who cares? As long as footy's happening, it's got to happen somewhere. There was a great suggestion today made. I think it was Graham Goodings said on Facebook or Twitter, just get all the AFL teams into a suburban ground, get them all, like, you know, the Crows can take up Moorabbin and Port can take up Waverley or something like that and share it, and we can just have all these boutique Melbourne stadiums being used for this round. I thought that's not actually a bad idea, I thought.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Cream disagrees. He wants to move on quickly.
yeah.
You're sick of this already.
Yeah. Fucking COVID. Let's get to the result. Unfortunately, the Crows did go down. That's what happens when you don't play 4 quarters of football, but we'll get to that. The Crows, 10-13-73, were defeated by Carlton, 12 goals, 11-83. And the first dot point I've written up is, why did we get back on the bus at quarter time? Anyone have any idea?
No.
Please.
No.
No idea.
Enlighten me.
We left.
Yeah.
Just weren't there. And Carlton bowled on, what was it, 8 goals?
Yep.
8 goals in the second quarter?
Yep.
And they
Scarily quick.
kicked 12 goals for the game. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the game.
You get to a point too in the fourth quarter where you think, why does this team love close finishes so much? And then you realise it's because we leave all that work for too late. You know, against St Kilda, it's a bit of an outlier because it was wet and tragic conditions, blah, blah, blah. Now this looks more like a trend.
Yeah.
You know, it looks absolutely like a trend all of a sudden. Where
It happened against Hawthorn.
Yep.
St Kilda, even though we won, it still happened against St Kilda.
Melbourne, Gold Coast,
Yeah.
even we won late. Fremantle
Yep.
beat us close late.
Yep.
We shouldn't be that surprised. I think we've all said throughout the year they're a young team and they're inconsistent, and this is just part and parcel of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, fade outs. I mean, the positives that you can take out of it is that we weren't then belted by 10 goals against
Yes.
Carlton.
We are still competitive throughout the remainder of the game.
That's right. So there's, you can choose to look at it two ways. You can either go, oh man, we can't win close ones. We can. We've won close ones.
Yeah.
We keep creating close ones because we have brain fades because, like you said, Cream, we're a bloody young team. Yeah.
Okay, well, next up, is there a concern with goal kicking? Tex kicking 3 goals for? Discuss.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Bill?
I reckon it was the open roof. He didn't know what to do.
A few swirling eddies, you reckon, coming
Yeah,
down. Just,
yeah.
left to right breeze. It's, I don't know.
I think it's not an issue. He had 7 scoring shots. That's the main thing.
Yeah, the fact that he's getting the ball. I mean, team-wise in the first quarter, you could probably say, yeah, maybe we've got a bit of an issue there. But
Yeah.
I think we'll be right.
But it wasn't just Tex. Like, I think Tex is
Yeah.
being singled out a bit, but I think Rowie missed one early on. Did McAdam miss
Yeah, we
one early too?
were 0 goals 6.
Oh, Jesus.
In the
Yeah,
first
that's right.
like 10 minutes of the
Yeah.
game. It was frustrating. It did. We could have dominated. We could have kicked 8 goals like Carlton did in the second quarter. But yeah.
Football is very clearly a momentum game.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when one team makes the most of it and the other one just doesn't.
100%. Yeah.
All
Can we
right.
move on from this game?
Yeah.
Something we're just noted here.
Who are your
We got a fair
favourite
bit.
players?
Oh, yeah, we got to do that. Yeah. God, this feels like a week ago now.
Well,
that we played, doesn't it?
I mean, Seedsman and Smith just keep racking up meters. I think they had over 1,400 between them again. And Ben Keys putting together another fine game. I think he had 29 touches, 6 clearances, 6 tackles.
Yeah.
Rory Laird, 33 touches, just consistent performers.
In Keys' second year, he's been as consistent as all our other senior players.
Yeah.
On the open market right now, he would be fetching 750,
Yeah.
700, 750 maybe.
For a team that needs him, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Also thought Jones played another great game off half.
No, I disagree. I thought it was the worst game of footy he's ever played.
He genuinely
Yeah.
frustrated me on the weekend. There were so many little mistakes. Like
Yeah?
I'm not even kidding. Like he had some good patches, but there were just a lot of little mistakes that really frustrated me. And I don't know if it's just because I was watching at the moments when he did the bad things or what happened, but he just really frustrated me.
On the other hand, the other Jones from Carlton was probably best. Oh, I won't say that because Sam Walsh had a blinder. But Liam Jones's job on Riley Thilthorpe
Yeah.
was unbelievable.
Yep.
Riley Thilthorpe should watch that game footage over and over again,
Yeah.
and he will learn a lot.
And not
From
be
that
disappointed with it either because he just got beaten by a more experienced, better player.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did different stuff in that game. He was clearly being beaten deep, so then you saw him move up a little bit, try and take a mark on the flank.
Yep.
Didn't work, so he went back deep. Didn't work. But good on Riley for persisting with it. And you're right, Cream. Like that's going to be the best education he's going to get. And it's happening in his first year of footy.
Yep.
This kid is going to be an absolute superstar if he keeps on this trend.
Let's be honest. He's in his first year. When he's ideally fully grown, he'll have an extra, 10 kilos
Fully
on him?
grown. What do you reckon he's going to
gonna
spread up anymore?
No, I mean,
This kid's
Another
going to be
20
7'9".
when he grows out, he should
Yeah.
have another 10 kilos, 10, 15 kilos, and just
Easy.
be
Yep.
stronger in the contest. And I think that's what was missing
Yep.
on the weekend.
Definitely.
So who stunk out the joint for the Crows on the weekend?
Unfortunately, it was my man Fogarty.
Yeah.
Really?
Popped
Yeah.
up early.
I was going to say, first quarter, he was obviously up and about, and I
Yeah.
loved his aggression. I thought that putting Plowman on him was a very advantageous matchup for us, but we just didn't see him after quarter time.
Well, he just didn't make the most of that matchup, and I'm starting to get a little bit, I don't know, I can understand the criticism leveled at him. I've been defending Fogarty for a long time, and I'll continue because he's still only a kid. He's got a long way to go, and he signed a contract extension, so we don't have to worry about him being farmed out, but he needs to find a way to get involved later in games. He can't just keep having cameos. He's got to find a way to get his hands on the ball when things aren't working for the team, And it's hard to do when you're playing deep forward. I get that. He's not a midfielder. He hasn't got a midfielder's insurance, but I don't know. He's got to find something. He's got to find a trick within his game to be able to, get a late touch or get a late thing. Because he's bottom of the stats. The only one above him is Butts, who played at fullback, for God's sake.
But he did have 100% disposal efficiency.
Out of how many possessions, Leighton?
Not many.
3, mate. Yep. Who else was there that just didn't?
There's been a lot of criticism towards Ned McHenry.
Fair or unfair?
I thought I was happy with his game, to be honest.
I thought so too.
In and around, gave a bit of nickel at times, and I thought he was solid.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't terrible.
No.
He didn't set the world on fire.
Yeah.
He's fine.
What's he going to be? What kind of player? Is he going to be a small forward? Is he going to be a midfielder? Is he going to be a hybrid of the two? What's his spot in 5 years' time, Graham?
I'd love him to be like a Tom Lynch kind of player.
Yeah.
He has endurance for days.
Mm.
And
At the moment, I see him just
like
as
a
another,
connector.
as another Lockie Murphy at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't see him breaking out as a connector yet, but hopefully he will do in the future.
He wants to start kicking goals then, if that's going to be his
True.
game.
True.
Should we do the 3-2-1? With all
Sure.
the PIG? Yeah.
You sound so excited about it.
This was a crap game. I'm done talking about it already.
I'm just going to get
I
mine
think
out.
this is why we do it on Monday, so we actually remember the game.
Yeah, so it's a bit fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get mine out of the way early. I will go Keys 3, Seedsman 2, Smith 1.
Very good.
Fair.
Damon, you're up next.
I was on board for a little bit, but I reckon I've got to put Laird in there. So I'll go, Cream is tripping over cords. You good? He's good. He's fine.
Yeah.
Keys, Seedsman, Laird. Ben?
Yeah, Keys definitely with the 3, Laird 2, and probably Seed with the 1.
Yeah, it's the same 3 players every
Isn't
week,
it?
pretty much.
Isn't it?
Laird, Keith, Seedsman. I mean, it's good that they're consistent, but it'd be good to get slightly more even performance from everyone else.
Yep.
Sloan played decently. He had a couple of mistakes in the game, but overall pretty good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with his injury though,
Yeah.
which Nixie is concerned about. So what was it? His
he should be. His
finger,
Finger,
or his
yeah.
thumb?
His finger. And it is concerning because it's one of those where it's sort of play on through pain or get surgery.
Yeah.
We had a great comment from when I did my live before we started recording. Christy Bainish, friend of the pod, asked, should we just send him off for surgery now or do we get him to persist?
I'd be shooting him off.
Yeah, I would.
May as well while they're doing it depends whether he's being flown out to Melbourne now.
Well, does anyone know the size of the squad we've sent out to Melbourne?
What about the SNFL team?
This is what I'm wondering. Like, are we sending everyone that works for the Crows over
Yeah.
to Melbourne now, or are we sending blokes at home? Have we already unofficially named a list to play? And the rest are staying. What are
Surely like a 25, 26 man squad over there.
You don't think they're going to take 50 players and then we have about 22 top-up players for the SNFL?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I'll put my hand up. I'm not doing anything this weekend. So surely 25, 26, and then whoever's staying behind plays in the SANFL. But this
But can someone who stays in SA still play in the AFL be called up if they're not in the bubble?
If they give them 8 hours warning so they can drive over. If they left them in Adelaide, how are they going to get over for the game?
Well, what if the game's
if it's
in
still
They
there.
Adelaide?
just played here. Oh, Jesus.
Sure,
Yeah,
if they're
okay.
not in that bubble, I don't think they'd let him.
Yeah,
You'd think
that's
so,
what I was
wouldn't you?
thinking.
The thing with Sloan is it's a tough one because when he was out, every week that passed, we noticed his absence more and more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel. So essentially, if the Crows say that the season is a lost cause in terms of making finals, which let's be honest, we're not making finals.
No.
That's all well and good. Then you send him in. But if you want him there for a sense of leadership to the young kids,
Which, with the injured finger, you can still do that off field, but
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
can't do it on field
Well, look at
in the
most
2
of,
hours of the game.
most of last season he was out crook as well.
Yeah.
And that was with a thumb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guy
I'm
can't
not
catch
sure.
a break.
Yeah,
but-
no, I mean between his eyes and his
I saw
fingers,
his
His
cheekbone,
eyes, every
everything.
cheekbone,
I don't know.
poor bastard. He's going to be the most banged up player to not win a flag at this rate, isn't he? But
I think he's an injury every season, pretty much.
yeah, but he was around for all of last season, geeing up blokes and being an assistant coach, basically. So there's nothing stopping him doing that. The other way to look at this is do you keep an injured senior player in the team at the expense of blooding a youngster like Haitley?
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
this is definitely another case where we don't have to. We don't need him to be in the side as much as we want him in the side for the last, 8 rounds?
Yeah.
7 or 8 games? Yeah, we don't need
Yeah.
it. We got a lot more players who we haven't given opportunities to yet, especially in the middle and not playing out of position.
That's true too. Or do we just sort of throw, because again, on Twitter, someone was asking, is it time we give Berry a break? I almost think it's time to throw Berry straight in the guts in the midfield and see how he goes for a bit.
I would take out, if you're going to blood a young kid in the midfield, I'd take out Sloan or I'd bring in Pedler.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring Pedler in for the rest of the year. He's doing well at SANFL level. From all reports, he's going to be a Jet. Just give him a few games this year so he can see what it's like at the level. And just, yeah, I mean, he'll have nothing to lose. There's no pressure on him.
Yep.
Just throw him in there and
I
see
like
how it
that.
goes.
I like that, Shaq, because we were talking before about how it's always Seatsman, Keys, Laird getting the midfield numbers. And then behind him, it's always Smith sort of rounding out the fourth with Sloan. It's time for another line breaker. It's time for another quick player to come into the
Well,
team.
you see what you have with Schoenberg, and I mean, like, he looks like in a few years, once he develops a bit more, he could very well be that. Like, you see explosiveness from him. But yeah, no, it never hurts to see what else you've got.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Now, did we all give our best on ground votes?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Zach Williams copped a week. Sucked in, you dog. What was this for? Anyone want to touch on that?
Well, we saw about 50 times on our social media feed, and then the AFL actually did something about it, which is surprising.
How
But it
nice.
was good. Yeah.
I'd like to say I played a part. I think I got 100 likes on that retweet.
I saw you tagging at AFL. I saw that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not enough.
Bad look.
It's not enough. It's a terrible look for the game. This wasn't a football act.
It
This
was-
wasn't him trying to get a hard ball.
It was on the AstroTurf,
Yeah.
100 metres away from the ball at that
Yeah.
time, I think.
Yeah.
the one thing that stopped this being a 4 to 5 week suspension was that Keys didn't get concussed.
Yeah,
But his intent was to concuss him.
exactly.
And
You
the
can't
fact-
argue any other way. Like, he was
Yeah.
trying to hurt the guy.
And the umpire was right there.
I know.
Ben Keys literally pointed to the umpire who was looking
Yeah.
at the incident and he
Yeah.
just did nothing.
I
Well,
mean,
he put his arm out.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'll do something.
Stop, guys.
yeah. No, stop it. I'm not sure there's heaps the umpire can do in that case, apart from
Nah.
just go, don't worry, I've written down his number.
But he didn't.
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah, he got cited later. Yeah.
And just a shout out to the Carlton Nuffy who was trying to compare it to the way that Thilthorpe stood up. And you know how players sometimes stand up and, push into the back a little bit? There was a Carlton Nuffy getting into me saying, oh, well, look at what Thilthorpe did 2 seconds later. Yeah, he stood up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't grab him by the Guernsey and just throw him into the ground from like half a metre up. It
Yeah.
was,
It does need to be said here too, though, by the way, that
Are you about to touch on the
controversy
Yeah,
around this. Do you
yeah.
want to do it? Or?
No, you do it.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Don't-
talking about Zach Williams.
Yeah. Do not ever racially vilify anyone, footballer or no. I don't care if the bloke slammed one of our blokes' heads into the ground.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve racist feedback. He deserves suspensions and he deserves to be called a flog, but keep racism out of it, you nuffies.
It doesn't achieve anything. It's about
At all.
you talk about the action from Williams being a bad look on the game. Racism is worse.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I must have missed this. I didn't see this, but I
Yeah.
can't believe this is still happening.
Right?
Kane Little, the
every
Carlton
time.
CEO, came out. Everyone's come out in support of him.
Yep.
It's just an ongoing thing.
And credit to Carlton. I don't think anyone's come out and used this as he did nothing wrong. Everyone's aware of what he did. He's done the wrong thing. He's copping a week for it.
And
Yeah.
they didn't challenge it.
They didn't challenge it. Good on Carlton. I mean, I still maintain it should have been more than a week. But
That's probably why they didn't challenge it.
yeah, exactly. Don't test
You
a
know
week.
what? All right.
2 weeks. But yeah, it's right up there with people that it's not the same thing because this is racism. But don't hassle players because they got suspended. Don't hassle players because they hurt your bloke, and don't hassle players because they messed up your multi. Just
Oh my god.
get your head read, people.
All right. If somebody wants to get up the Twitter comments, I've got the Facebook ones right here. We'll start with Brendan McGarrigan, Patreon listener. If ever the "You Blew It" gift could be used, that was it. You blew it! Shout out to Adam Sandler. Had our chances late in the game, but silly turnovers and some poor shots at goal killed us. Again, the side shows they'll never give up, but they've got to stop digging these big holes to get themselves out of.
Big tick.
Connor Nelson. Nixie needs to listen to the Wednesday night lives. Damo said Sholey needs a week in the twos.
Oh,
I did. Yeah, I did say that.
Now,
Needs a bit of a rest.
what were Lockie Scholl's stats on the weekend, gentlemen? From all reports,
Jeez,
he
I'm glad
didn't
this bloke's
light it
paying
on
attention
fire.
to what I say because I completely forgot I said that. Bloody hell. What did he get?
he got, I think, 12 touches, or is it?
14.
14.
14. We're looking at a new format here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit different to what we used to. But yeah, 3 contested possessions, 11 uncontested. 85.7% disposal efficiency, which isn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but if you compare that to the game against
North Melbourne.
North Melbourne, very similar conditions, except the roof was closed and we were facing North Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, pretty much the same.
Yeah. It's
And he played
almost
blind
worth
that game.
it's almost
Yeah.
worth giving him a break now before he has that terrible game. Do you know what I mean? Like just give
or
him
just gets injured because
absolutely
he's
'cause
only a young player.
yeah, and he's been gassing himself over the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
David McKay style of running 14 kilometres with 14 touches.
but David McKay's had 62 preseasons to back all of that up.
Very
whereas
true.
Sholey's had 3 or 4.
All right, next up, Mark McInerney. Lockie Scholl missing that goal was massive.
Well, it was well lost before that. It was frustrating to see that because it would have made it interesting for the
Yeah,
last
with a minute and a half to go.
minute and a
Yeah.
half if he kicked that goal. As soon as he got the ball, I was like, oh, brilliant. He's going to kick the goal.
Yeah.
Because it's Lockie Scholl. Because Taylor Walker's rated in the best kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Too much pressure on a young kid.
Could have
Yeah.
probably run another 20 metres, to be fair, as well. We had a lot of space in front of him just to really
That
make
comes
sure
from
of it.
talk from behind, so you'd
Yeah.
hope that there were blokes behind him telling
There
him.
was
to
no
take
one
a
near him.
formation.
That's
No.
probably why.
Yeah.
I mean, in his mind, he's also thinking, do I have 60 seconds or
Or
6
10
seconds?
seconds?
I guess that's
Yeah.
true. He doesn't know exactly how long's left in the game.
Jared Petrenko style of kicking out the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shaheen Marty.
Good.
A few times this year, we've shot ourselves in the foot with a quarter, which makes it virtually impossible to come back from, especially with goals in quick succession.
Yeah, that is not good.
I can highlight quarter 2 versus Swans, quarter 4 versus Freo, quarter 2 versus GWS, quarter 2 versus Eagles, quarter 3 versus Tigers, and added quarter 2 today.
Yeah, we'll trust you on that. We're not going to check that.
Yeah, no.
We're not going to check
There's a
that.
similar comment from Caitlin Stevens I'll get to too.
Yep.
I expect the blips to be stymied better with more maturity or experience. However, it starts with centre clearances, and Rob got a bit schooled in that 5 to 8 minute period.
He did.
Back to momentum, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are we? And then Caitlin Stevens' comment, need to stop letting teams get out to leads like they did today. Find too much that we have to try and claw back the game. Second quarter was woeful and lost us the game like second quarter versus West Coast and third quarter versus Richmond. Give away too many silly frees, and at some points we were lucky not to give away 50s. Should have won today. Such a shame.
Yep.
Matt Talbot said you can beat the best sides but lose to the shittest ones. It's between the ears after 2 weeks off too, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't know how much the bye plays into it. I mean, a young team that week off might have done something in terms of momentum.
They
But-
celebrated a bit too hard after the St Kilda win. you reckon?
maybe.
I think
you know?
generally you'll find that teams like us, it's not that they don't get up for the games like the ones on the weekend, but they do get up for the ones
Where
against the
they've got
top
nothing
teams
to
'cause,
lose.
yes, they don't have anything to lose. So, yeah.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, they find themselves in the game at halfway through the third quarter, and they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, with a mountain to climb.
Yep. Jared Pridham, tell Ned McBloody Henry to stop giving away stupid free kicks, pretty please. Well, thank you so much for
They're
the.
pretty pleased.
Yeah.
Pleased.
We'll just write a kindly worded letter to Ned and just get him to stop giving away
Yeah.
free kicks.
Because he used his manners, we're going to angle for an interview with Ned and we're going to ask
I'm
him.
going to tell him. I'm going to grill him.
And we won't be that polite.
Heath Taylor said, "Rack this into the same category as the Pies and Hawks loss, and it's why we are where we are. Not good enough.
Mm.
They're not good enough. I don't really agree with. We didn't exactly expect to set the world on fire this year.
Yeah.
If you turn around, and sometimes they do this throughout the year, if the AFL turns around the results within 2 goals,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
the Crows would be top 8
Yep.
comfortably. I think we'd be 6th. I
Where
reckon.
we are,
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
they did one the other day where it's like wins against top 8 teams.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
fifth.
We're fifth,
Ugh.
just
Home
below,
final.
just below Port.
Yep.
Who I didn't think they had beaten a top 8 side.
Sydney's
this
the
year,
only
but
top 8 side they've beaten, isn't it? Or
I
is that
think
just
so.
at the time of playing?
I think that's what it is. Yeah. But yes, I mean, if you measure the season by any other metric, it's actually been a weird sort of success for us. So
All right. 3 more and then we're done. Love that the boys don't give up. This is from Scott Whitaker, but bloody hell, 1 or 2 less turnovers, please, lads. Other than that, I'm still happy with the direction the boys are going.
Again, good manners.
Brilliant.
yeah,
Thank you so much for being so courteous.
absolutely. We've got some really civil fans. It's
And what is
lovely.
going on here?
And it's not even after a
It's
win.
a weird week.
Yes. Everyone's fucked. Berry and Schoenberg are getting some impressive plays in now, and it's exciting to see. Tracy Loveridge, we were up against raging adrenaline from a team fighting to shut everybody up for a few days and gain a bit of respect back. Our inaccurate kicking in the first quarter was so frustrating and in the end cost us the game. We made the Blues look good. I guess the build-up to the game was Patrick Cripps re-signing last week. And
Oh,
all
don't
the-
get me started
all
on
the
Blaine
pressure.
Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Mate. Fucking perfect timing. James Payne. Can't say too much as I only had the game on in the background on mute because fuck Dwayne Russell.
Tick.
Big tick.
Second quarter was shit. Goal kicking was shit. Never ceases to amaze me how often we make ordinary teams look good.
It's going to be the year for it. We're
Yeah.
going to have the teams are going to find form against us.
Yeah. We're going to look back on this in 2 years. Touch wood.
Oh,
But we're going to look back on this in 2 years and realise that these close losses are a learning experience for a young team. And I have a breakdown of the number of games on average for each team. And so do all of you.
Is that on page 42 of our workbooks?
Yes, if you turn your page to the stats. No, you've gone
God.
past it.
Oh,
Top right-hand corner there.
bloody hell, mate.
This is what happens when Cream does the run sheet.
Cream does homework. Look at this.
So the Crows have 12 players in their team with less than 50 games.
Yep.
Just grin and bear it.
Exactly.
Supporters, I'm sorry, but
Yep.
this is what happens. Whereas Carlton have 4.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Twitter comments.
yep. We have got APR 23 saying Fogarty and McHenry's performance is disgraceful for mine. Put the tough guy stuff away and put your head over the ball. Both need to run in the twos.
So, I mean, when Fogarty has a game like he did and then smashes into a bloke after he's taken a mark, well, we all know that's in his game. I can see where the bloke's coming from.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit unfair on Ned McHenry because we all know that's his game. He's an
Yeah.
antagonizer and he's a workhorse.
But we'll get to potential inclusions for this week from that
Yes.
CFL performance.
Yes.
Jace at LUFC_20. It's amazing. Sorry about that. How I can't stand bets. Once you're out of that Crows Guernsey, you can get, in my opinion.
See, we've gone from all the manners on Facebook
Oh, no.
to Twitter.
Twitter animals.
Get Elodie in here. She'll be comparing the social
Yeah.
media sites again.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Dave Carnivale, perfect example tonight of the importance of early scoreboard pressure. 0 goals, 6 before our first goal. Admire the fight back, but are doing it far too often due to hemorrhaging goals.
I mean, 0 goals, 6, that's some sort of pressure.
It's a dodo.
Oh, no, yeah, we did a team dodo.
A team dodo.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
He goes on to say forward structure didn't work tonight. Left the Thilthorpe move far too late.
Yeah, but it also... Didn't we have this earlier or like last season where we were just delivering it straight to Himmelberg or Frampton's foreheads and just commanding them to play better?
2 meters over the head of Lockie Murphy. Was
That's
actually
exactly
more what
right.
we're doing,
Yeah.
but-
So sometimes it's not the forward structure; it's the midfield entry, and I feel like we were smashed by a better midfield this week. Even though like we had some good midfield numbers, we weren't as effective with the ball out of the stoppages. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely the fault of an 18-year-old in Thilthorpe, but. Oh, I can see what he's saying. I guess I don't know. I'll shut up. No further questions, Your Honour.
Daniel Crawford says McAdam an issue. I think 8 disposals at 50% efficiency, which doesn't include dropped marks and fumbles in key moments. Then only 1 tackle. McAdam, McHenry, Berry, Hamill just can't carry them all. Fogarty only 3 touches but 2 goals. Just want to see him chase and crunch a few more tackles. No, the bit of issue with the words here. No, they have different roles, but all need to bring pressure and just not doing it. Can carry 1 or 2, but not all 4.
Well, should we bring in this bloke, Oliver Davis? 6 tackles on the weekend. Game high in the NFL.
You know what? We'll get his stats out of the way now before we touch on him. But he's that Tasmanian kid that they brought over in the middle of the year. Real young bloke. The nicest kid you'll ever meet too. Yep. I met him going back a few weeks ago. And yeah, it was his breakout game on the weekend.
But he's not AFL listed. We brought him over with the intent of picking him up in the mid-season draft.
Yes.
He can't play in the AFL team.
I don't know. They'll find a way.
Leighton.
They'll find a way. I don't know.
But also, sorry, can I just, on that comment, who do we bring in then? Like, we can't keep carrying the kids that he just mentioned. So what do you want to do? Drop him and bring in what senior players?
Matty Wright.
Bring it.
Yes, Matty Wright.
Lastly, here we have got G and Delane at Gablord saying, not terrible, but we need Talia in there ASAP as some real experience down back. Butts is getting better every week, but still getting completely rinsed at times. And I do agree with that one.
Yes, we do need Talia. Speaking of him, is there any news on his contract?
We're going to touch on that later because we've got a whole bunch of stuff to get through.
Oh, God.
And that's it from Twitter.
Yep. I was actually going to try and manufacture seatbelts for these chairs just for tonight's pods. Strap yourselves in, boys.
F1 style.
Yes. All right.
What's next then? If there's so much to
Next
come?
up, we've got the Crom Junior.
Oh.
We just touched on Oliver Davis, obviously.
We won.
Yes, they won.
In a tough game against the Bloods. Don't know if you saw the scores at quarter time. It was 7 goals to 1.
Yeah, what
Was
did you
there a
thought this would be
breeze or what's
contest?
going on in there?
Who knows?
Yeah, there was 12-goal breeze to one end.
The Crows ended up winning 14 goals, 10-94 to 9 goals, 4-58 in a convincing 6-goal win.
Good on them. Great.
We obviously touched on Oliver Davis.
Yes.
And the big bad bustling Billy Canary Yellow BT1 kicked 3 goals, 3 with 12 marks.
12 marks.
If
Good
you
effort.
do not mind.
I wouldn't mind him coming in for Fogarty, to be honest, this week.
It's not
Even
a bad
for a
shout.
couple of weeks.
It's not a bad
Just give
call.
Fogarty a rest.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has played, 4 or 5 in a row now.
Yeah.
I think he's strung the most amount of games together in his AFL career currently, Fogarty. And considering we're building him up to be a key forward, not a bad thing. Let him recharge a bit.
Yeah.
Plus, with numbers like that, like he's just sort of kicking the door in.
And the ultimate non-answer this year, the little brother of Frampton at the moment, because he got, instead of 3 goals, 3, he got 2 goals, 2.
My
and
God.
So is he
7 marks for Himmelberg.
Is he like a Barina hatchback or something? If we're comparing to the,
Yeah. Slightly lower model.
Yes. Yeah.
With a racing stripe.
But he,
With a spoiler.
but he takes care of it. Yeah.
And a no fear sticker.
Yes, I was going to say, what kind of stickers on there?
Love it.
So Parnell,
Mm.
he is the one that we did pick up in the mid-season draft.
Number 51. Gotta love to see the high numbers.
Now, I've just written here, Parnell looks like a decent pickup, so he must have decent stats. Who wants to read them out?
20 touches, 11 kicks, 9 handballs, 2 marks, and 2 tackles. Solid effort for coming over
Second game? Second game? Third
Yeah.
game?
Second game at this
second,
level.
yeah.
a few weeks in Adelaide from Sydney. So
And he's a
Settling
whippet.
in.
He is a whip. He's minute. He probably
Yeah.
won't be able to play AFL for a couple of years because he will be broken.
Yeah.
You know, like someone will just snap him in half over his knee.
Golan, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's
You
tiny.
can imagine him just at AFL level. Someone tackles him and they've just gone up. I've broken him. Yeah. Someone come get him. He's broken.
You know, in cartoons where you see, like, I think it was in Angry Beavers, they play American football and they get smashed up and there's just a tangle of limbs, like they're just tied in a knot, and then the short ambulance comes tearing out in the field and carries him off. That'd be Parnell first time. He'll just have like legs and arms at right angles after first tackle. You know? I hope not, but yeah, he is small, is what I'm trying to say.
And Josh Worrell.
Mm.
Damon, what were his stats?
23 disposals, 13 kicks, 10 handballs, 8 marks.
Yeah.
8 marks.
Great effort. Even though he was dropped, I'm
Yep.
glad he got a game and not like was an emergency for last
Definitely.
weekend.
And
Yeah.
to perform and be right
Yeah.
up there.
Yep. Yep.
When it can be very obviously demoralising to be dropped after your first game,
Yep.
particularly when you win.
Yeah. Well, with the potential sort of force change if Sloan goes under the knife, would it be Worrell that comes in for him?
I don't know.
No,
Or
you
would it be
gotta be
You
different?
need
Haley.
more around the ball.
Yeah.
Haley?
I want to
think.
see Haley come in, yeah. And
I
that,
want to see Pedler come in.
yeah. I think either of those two.
Someone will
will be
come in.
Actually, looking at Haley's stats, I'm not sure if he is the one to come in. 10
Ooh.
disposals, 8 kicks, 1 mark, 2 handballs, 2 tackles.
It's,
Zero.
it's the curse of the number 6, isn't it?
It
Since
is.
Mudra.
Zero,
Yeah.
zero clearances in that as well.
All
I don't know.
Well, first things first, we are going to get to a few more questions from our Facebook community on the video that Damon put out
Hmm.
a while ago.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I'll fire them off.
Got him?
Yep. Right here. Daniel Venables. Oh no! See, this ties on. These all tie into later segments.
We'll just talk about them now.
Yeah, fuck it. Okay. Daniel Venables, keen to know thoughts on possibly trading up for Jason Horn.
Yes, but
That sounds nice in theory.
it's
The Crows are currently where on the ladder?
where are we?
15.
Too high.
Too high for
We're
him.
too high for Horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it right here. So they are currently 14th. So they currently have pick 5. However, they're only 1 win ahead of 17th. Collingwood, Gold Coast, and Hawthorn all on 4 wins.
So what
if
you're
we
saying
lose-
is-
if they all win one more game
Yeah.
and we throw one,
So
by a lot,
it's
Tanking for Horn.
we can take him.
We're gonna have to throw a lot more than those games though, because we're gonna have to finish. Well, that's
Actually, yeah.
it's the
Well,
race to the bottom, 2021.
With
Part
all,
2.
with all the stuff that's come out in the last few weeks, Jason Horn might end up going 3rd in the draft,
Mm,
and we will explain that later.
absolutely. We're gonna just confirm this. We'll do another draft spotlight episode coming up.
On the very back page,
Look on
you
your
will
run
see
sheet.
there is some research
look at
done.
this.
Can I be Gilligan closer to the night when we do a...
Sorry, the second to last page.
What page? Like 42
Second
or
to last
36?
page,
Where are we?
39.
Oh God, I've got to
Um,
just seriously. It's
And
ladies
we're going to
gentlemen,
talk about a few of the upcoming Adelaide boys
Yeah, there's a few good ones.
and their stats. But
Yep.
in a dream world, we would get Jason Horn, but it's just not realistic.
It's really not.
I don't think the Crows want to put all their eggs in that basket either.
No, nor should we. Nor
What's
should
the next comment, Green?
Scott Whitaker. Gotta love the way Talia is handling the contract talks, lads. Hope that makes it into the pod. Love your work. We do actually have that as a dot point here.
Yeah.
He did come out and make some comments, and
Ooh.
Ben is getting them.
I certainly am. Thank you to sen.com.au. And Streaming Lake might have been in a radio segment this morning as it loads up. Daniel Talia says he is fully committed to Adelaide in what has been a very frustrating year for the out-of-contract defender. Serious foot injury has sidelined Talia for the entirety of the 2021 season so far. Adelaide coach Matthew Nixon, the club's hierarchy, want to see the 29-year-old return to full fitness before the season's out.
This is a
And-
classic article saying all the obvious things before it comes to the me.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's it. There's a great big butt hanging over this whole thing.
And then Matty Nix came out last Friday and said, I'm not going to come out and say they have to play football this season for them to be at the footy club going forward. That's not the case, but it is factored into the conversation at this point. We want to see and make sure that Daniel first and foremost knows that he's still able to play at the level. We're in a rebuild mode, and that certainly comes into it as well.
I did see, I can't remember where I saw this or who I was talking to this about, but Daniel Talia going to Gold Coast.
There's been a few rumours around. The press box sort of floated a couple of weeks ago. They even mentioned, because he's an unrestricted free agent.
Yes.
So I guess it comes up to, do the Crows, if he gets an offer to go somewhere else to play one more year of footy, do the Crows step in knowing that he will essentially take the spot of a Mackesy, a Worrell, a Murray in developing within the senior team?
And matching it for more money than
Well,
the
that's
Crows
it,
would
yeah.
probably
So-
be willing to pay him as he declines in it.
The Gold Coast would be stupid if they're not going to throw him a Godfather offer, because if he can put 2 good years of footy in for them, what he brings off field in terms of his leadership, his commitment to training, his standards. That's what they're lacking at the moment.
Let's talk money. How much do you think he would be on with the Crows?
6.
Yeah, I'd say 6 comfortably.
I think if Gold Coast offered him 7, hypothetically, if he is on 6, I think if Gold Coast offered him an extra $100,000
Over
for 2 years,
Yeah.
Crows would not match it.
No.
But I don't think he would go there for $100,000. I think like if Gold Coast offered him $200,000 extra over 2 years, he'd probably go. But
then you start wondering like why are Gold Coast throwing the kitchen sink at an aging fullback
who's
with
missed this entire year?
Have you seen their finals record?
Good point. No, I haven't because
They
it
don't
doesn't
have one.
exist.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got some more quotations here from Daniel Charlie. So we've got the club and I are talking, and they know I'm doing everything I can to support the group and try and get back to play.
It'll be hard doing it from Adelaide when they're in Melbourne.
Yeah,
That's true. Zoom or something. I've just got to be professional about how I go about it and give everything. I've got to try and get back to show them I want to be there next year. I think from my point of view, it's important for everyone to hear that I'm really committed to the club. In these chats behind the scenes, the club know exactly where I sit in terms of wanting to be here next year. I'm committed to the club, and we'll see how it goes in the second half of the season. So I don't think he wants to go.
No, reading that, it doesn't sound like it, but whether or not he sort of gets pushed into it would be my worry. Yeah.
All right. What is next?
Next up, we have comments from Matt Rendell, Adelaide's former list manager.
He didn't comment on my video before, did he?
No, he didn't. But this is another one of our dot
I got
points.
very excited then. Like, wow, Matt Rendell's paying attention to us.
He was talking about Matt Crouch earlier today and
Oh,
what
yeah.
the Crows should do with him. And here's what he had to say.
And what do you do with him? Oh, I trade Matt Crouch because next year I've got Pedler, Millerer and Schoenberg moving into that midfield, and you're still going to have Sloan. Play Sharks.
So, yeah, okay. While I try and shut up that video,
Yeah.
that's what Rendell had to say today. And I think we've been saying it for a while. I don't think there's any need to have Matt Crouch around next year. What do the rest of us think on the table?
And I think the one thing I'll say to that is, I mean, I completely agree, but
Yes.
he is a restricted free agent.
Right.
So do we go down the road? We kind of flirted with this with his brother last year before he was allegedly caught with a illegal substance,
Allegedly.
where it looked for all money that we were going to match whatever offer came up and then force a trade. And then we end up just letting him go because we had to, basically. Do we match whatever offer comes for Matt and then force a trade out of that? Or do we just let him walk and take whatever compensation we get? I think is how I would reframe that question.
I would do the first option and match it and try and get a better trade out of it.
But what value does he hold having not played this year? That's
That's
anything.
the problem.
This is it, isn't
the
it?
fact that he hasn't played this
But
year,
he's got a gold jacket.
will it diminish his value? Yeah.
So did his
And
brother.
an All-Australian. Did he go make All-Australian a couple of years ago?
Sure.
Or squad, at least squad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think a couple of years
40.
ago.
Had to have.
That feels right, yeah.
But in terms of consistency before this year, over a number of years, it would be there.
Yeah.
You wonder what his value would be, like in terms of our compensation pick, what we would get. You would think a Victorian
Pick two or
club
bust.
will offer
yeah.
him, I would like to say, 750, 800.
So there's a club that I can't believe did not go hard for his brother last year.
North Melbourne?
Well, Geelong.
Yes.
Geelong's got an aging midfield, and he would slot straight in, behind Dangerfield without
Salary.
Ablett there. Salary would be the one
Yeah.
issue. You're right, because they run that risk of just sort of, but they always find a way. Geelong always seem to find a way to get these blokes into their team. But North Melbourne, 100%, young team, up and coming midfield. He'd walk into that team. Of course
Reports
he
have
would.
come out today that they're willing to offer. Mind you, this is from Tom Brown, so take this for what it's
Jesus.
worth. Fucking peanut.
Yep.
But 1.1 over 8 years to Josh Kelly again, who's out of contract with Giants at the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see this time around if Josh Kelly goes there because GWS aren't.
We're going to go
much
through
job.
that saga again.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
It feels like we just finished that whole Josh Kelly thing.
But we'll just go around in a circle. Do we trade? Do you think we need Matt Crouch in the team next year, Ben?
No.
Leighton?
Probably. Generally, no, but
I
I
know.
don't
Yes or
think
no here.
All right,
Stop
no.
sitting on the fence. Damon?
No.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yep.
So I think it's a general consensus.
As long as Rory Sloane's fit.
Even then, I'd say shipping off.
Yeah, no.
We need to start giving more opportunity to youngsters. I
Rebirth.
reckon.
Rebirth.
That, and if we want any chance of moving up the order to get Horn, we need some top 10 draft picks. We need serious compensation from Matt Crouch, and we need to be willing to trade up.
Yes.
Agreed. Good.
Okay, let's go around the grounds from last week's games. If you please flick to page 97 of your run sheet.
Right, listeners, you think he's kidding?
No, trust me, I'm not kidding. So, we had first game of the round, Brisbane against Geelong.
Oh, that was good to see.
What
Boys
a
lose.
game. Don't you love seeing Geelong lose in prime time football?
At the Gabba.
Yeah.
Flashbacks to the grand final.
And shout out, did anyone see that photo of Charlie Cameron in the middle of a melee just smiling as he's getting grabbed by the neck? I fucking love that. But
What do you think he's thinking in that moment?
Yeah. Oh, he's like,
Look at me, Mum, I'm on TV.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
But Geelong were very bad.
Yeah.
Is this the Lions sort of really putting their flag in the ground and going, we're flag contenders?
The Lions are the most consistent team in the competition.
Yeah.
Including the Bulldogs.
It's the only team you can
Since
trust.
round 3. I think they had a slow start to the year, but ever since round 3.
Yep.
They're building a good season. Most likely finish top 4. Most likely
And let's not forget
peak in
they
the
should've-
finals, I think,
Yeah, well,
after
that-
a few years of sort of plateauing in the finals.
Well, this is the thing. They look like they haven't hit their peak yet.
Yeah.
So they're absolutely ramping up the right time of year.
And let's be honest, they should have beaten Geelong down in Geelong too.
Yep.
When Bailey got blitzed up holding the ball on the line.
don't
Yes.
Tell me.
All right. Next up, another one. The other grand finalist from last year got belted too.
Oh, another great watch.
What is going on here? Dream weekend. Until the Crows game.
Yeah.
St Kilda got up by 40 points and watched what was a really shit game
Yeah.
to watch in
I think
terms of like scoring output, but just pleasing because Richmond got belted.
But we learn nothing from this game.
No.
Absolutely nothing. Tigers aren't as good as they used to be. Saints
And
still
Bolter
are.
goes down
Yeah.
with a serious injury.
Yeah. That's going to be a concern.
Dusty becomes the first person to have more Norm Smiths than goals kicked for their team.
Best start of the weekend by far.
Yes. And St Kilda, okay, they won this game, but
No.
I can't see them making finals.
They're still not that
Nah.
good. No. So this game could have not been played. They could have just decided this beforehand. And
I think this says more about how average Richmond are at the moment than how good St Kilda are.
They do look a bit scared in 8th at the moment on the ladder. Richmond.
Yes.
Well, no one underneath them wants to take the spot, though. That's the only problem.
What did we say last week, though? There is a team that looks like they could steal that from
Bomb.
them. The Bombers.
Up the bomb.
Up the bomb.
We'll talk about them. Collingwood went down to Freo in which was the most confusing game of the weekend for mine.
Was
The
it?
first 3 quarters were rubbish.
Were you like, why are Port Adelaide playing against Freo?
Yeah. But then in the last quarter, this was one of the best games of the year. It's like both teams knew they had to win. And all of a sudden, Collingwood stopped kicking backwards.
Braden Maynard somehow gave away a free kick for a front on position when he didn't even touch the other player.
Don't get me started. Next up, North Melbourne beat Gold Coast. And
Who watched this?
Nah.
nah.
I followed the scores for the purposes of a multi, but that was about it.
But I know this isn't a Gold Coast podcast, but let's touch on Gold Coast quickly. Where are they? What are they?
They're in the Gold Coast at the moment, but they might be moved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
They
is
are-
this the end for Stewie Jute?
Oh, I hope not. I really
I
hope-
don't think so.
He's had so much time. Like,
Yeah.
how much time do you need with a football club?
He's a better coach than they're churning out at the moment. Surely. Do you know, like,
You'd
surely
hope so.
he's. Well, the problem is that he's got a bunch of private schoolboy captains that aren't that good at playing as a unit, and there's no real belief around the whole organization from anywhere. So, no, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to do with Gold Coast anymore. They're costing everyone too much money. No one wants to watch them. Who gives a rat's?
It just seems like a black hole to me.
Yeah.
I just don't care about them enough to.
Well, it's been 10
I
years
don't
now,
know.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it last week that Cochrane came out and said that Tasmania don't deserve a team, and then they go down to Tasmania and dish up that?
Yeah. What an absolute tosser.
Yeah.
In saying that, at least we know Kangaroos can win games in in Tasmania.
It's true. For when they get relocated.
Yeah. Port got up in which was a pretty
Great game.
entertaining game.
Yeah.
But he's back.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
to
for
see.
a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we're going to get to see him kick 1,000 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good to see. Scotty Lycett kicking that game winner.
Oh,
That was a fucking kick and a half from a ruckman.
standing still.
Give Riley O'Brien a couple of tips.
Oh, jeez.
How was that shot for goal early in the game?
I just had an image of Riley O'Brien trying the exact same kick.
Yeah.
Jeez, I just dreamt about a giraffe. Oh, no, that was Rob.
Next up, we had, this game was probably the most entertaining game of the round for mine, Essendon and Melbourne. Now, we touched on Essendon potentially making the 8.
Mhm.
Essendon are a good team.
Much better team than we all thought they would be.
Essendon are a better team than some of the teams in the top 8 at the moment. I'll say
Like
that right
Sydney, its form
Yeah.
at the moment
Yeah.
is not great compared to the Bombers.
They're better than Richmond. I think they're playing better
Yes,
footy than
same
Richmond
here.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's scored more than 2 goals.
Yeah, so it's not hard.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved in this game Christian Petrarca giving it to the bloke in the front row.
Yes.
That was my favourite moment of the whole
Oh,
weekend.
I missed
Yeah.
this completely. I didn't see the game.
Some guys
Entirety.
heckling him over the fence as he's walking in. And you just love it. Just watching someone give it back.
Yeah.
Just sort of got up and sort of pointed the finger towards him, and the guy got up all offended as if he, it was the worst thing to ever happen in the
he's-
world. Christian Petrarca just gave him away.
Excellent.
I think when he kicked the goal, he put the hand behind the ear, kind of
Yeah.
Rat style.
Sorry, what was that? You fucking peanut.
Rory Atkins style from the showdown
Yeah.
in 2016.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better on Petrarca, I bet, than Atkins.
I don't know.
Now, while we talk about basket case expansion teams, Hawthorn defeated the Giants, who just cannot play football at the MCG, it seems, by
Yeah.
3 goals.
They're still traumatized from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
the
there
grand
a
final.
mental demon there, I wonder?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you're right. They've just not turned up ever since.
They were right in the game at 3/4 time.
They were.
They cut it from 30 points back to a goal, I think it was, and then just fell apart.
They'll have a change of coach.
And what do you think about
Have to.
Burgoyne playing his 399th game as this injury sub?
But not really having the game as the sub. I think he came on in the first quarter, didn't he?
No,
The
no,
last
no,
quarter.
No. Last quarter.
Last quarter?
I think.
So does that count?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it counts even if he
Even
doesn't
if you
come on
don't
the field.
play. Yeah.
Well, Bugger, nurse him through to 500 games that way. Who cares? They found a loophole.
Jeez.
Well, Clarko did say he's the best sub to have because he's essentially played every position on the ground except
God,
for
yeah.
in the ruck.
Yeah.
And even then, back in the day, he probably could have done that like Sean Grigg did for Richmond too.
That's very true.
But I was convinced that Leon Cameron was going to be sacked this week. Like,
I think he's just hiding. Like,
I don't know what is going. Like,
I don't think they even
covered it
realise
up
he's still
for-
there.
Yeah, he's there. We thought we got rid of you 6 months ago.
So did Peter. He predicted this last year.
Yeah.
When they do sack him, Pete's going to come in here with a parade. He's going to be like, there's
Head
going
will
to
be blowing
Trumpet.
up.
Oh,
Like
it's
it's-
confetti and a
Yeah.
banner's going to fall from the
Yeah,
ceiling.
yeah.
Then it's
There'll
going to
be-
be like, he's gone. But there'll be a date written on it, just crossed out in crayon, and then another one written there. That one's crossed out, and then another one written next to it.
Yeah.
There will
Yeah.
be a big sound, put it that way.
Hey, coming out of Pete's house.
Now, next up, we have my premiership favourites at the moment. The Bulldogs getting up in Perth over West Coast by 55 points.
So this was supposed to be the game of the round.
Mm.
There were supposed to be fans there, and the Eagles don't know how to play without fans.
They announced the morning of the game that there weren't going to be any fans.
Yeah,
Game.
that's rough.
Yeah.
And
Very-
Marcus Bontempelli put one hand around the Brownlow on the weekend.
Yeah,
Oh,
29 touches,
Yeah,
3
mate.
goals.
That
He-
goal from the boundary.
Yeah, he would be he'd be pole position.
Yep.
Have
Yep.
to be. And it's
Gamble
amazing.
responsibly, but get on it.
It's amazing considering who he's got taking votes off him, but I just can't see anyone else that really stands out.
Mm.
Darcy Parish will be around the mark, maybe, but
Do you remember when the Bulldogs won the flag a few years ago?
I do.
And everyone just sort of thought, oh, well, that's a bit of a blip. Like, they just didn't back it up afterwards.
That was one of my favourite days, actually.
Yeah?
Story time with Cream.
Oh, here we go.
I was over
It's not Creamy's calls. It's
I was over in
Creamy's-
Creamy's tells.
Yeah. I was over in Whistler and living there for a bit, and the grand final was on, and I put $20 on Jason Johannesson before the game to win the Norm Smith
No.
at 34-1.
No.
So it was a very good day indeed.
It sounds it. Yeah.
Well,
But all I can remember from that day is BT being like, he's kicked it. Oh, fuck! Lynn Boyd bombs it from inside the centre square.
I know that.
Well, chuck 20 on Bontempelli for the Brownlow, and you're not getting anywhere near the $34 odds there. Crunched into $2.80.
There you go.
No, do it now. It's never going to be better value than
Yeah.
now.
It's only shortening.
Gamble responsibly.
And that was it because the last game of the round was ours.
Yep.
Okay.
So, what's next?
Beryl and Cecil of the
here
week.
we go.
Now, who wants to get that up?
There's a couple.
There's,
Yeah,
always,
you got
there's
some?
always multiple, isn't there?
Yep.
It's been a good week for him.
I like hearing Ben read them out.
Yeah.
He's got a good voice for it.
All right. Where are we? Where do we start? Thank you to Shahin for sending this one as well, if I can just find it.
What we'll do is we will start playing the music.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll start with the one that Shahin didn't send in. And this one wasn't quite as bad as the one that Shahin did send in, but we had Lindy on Twitter today in response to Warren Treadway breaking the news that we would be flown to Melbourne, obviously pre-finding out that we might yet still be playing here in Adelaide. She said it's not fair. We had a home game. Bullshit, no lockdown in Adelaide. I give up. Do we get a refund on tickets that we brought or what? Even though no tickets were sold just about yet. So that one.
Just calm down.
Yeah.
Just pull up.
Just take a chill pill. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll get sorted.
And then the best one of the week, Shahin sent in. And it's almost up there for the year, really.
It's a
Beryl and
contender.
Cecil of the year. We've had a couple in a couple of weeks. We've got Sean here who said they run hundreds of kilometres in training and then go out and jog at the best for most of the game. Lol. Poor coaching. Let the supporters vote on an app for changes during a game and we would have won that match.
Imagine the suggestions
Jesus.
coming in during the game.
Oh, yeah. I'd be kicked off for spamming Chris Judd in his prime and putting that as up as an
Just
option.
put
everywhere.
go Crom. You just see in the corner of the coach's box of the game. They're not even looking at the screen.
We would just be spamming Go Crom at 119 over and over again.
Some
Nothing helpful.
supporters would drag 10 blokes off the field, out of the team by quarter time, so the Crows are only left with fucking 12 players for 3/4 of the game.
That's
We would say, bring on Tyson Edwards.
They'd start rage quitting. Get him off. Get him off. Send him on.
Sean goes on to say that we would have won the Thilthorpe matchup with Liam Jones. Apparently, us moving him around would have won the matchup. Okay. Not sure about that one. Also says defence positions in the second quarter, we would have fixed that. And
Okay.
Schellenberg to the centre earlier. We would have fixed that as well. You know, give us control. Get us this app going.
This guy really has heard the term armchair expert.
And he said, I'm going to take this to a whole nother
Well, he's
level.
read too far into the expert bit, not the armchair bit. Calm down, champion.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like it.
So that's up there, I think. Probably one of the best of the year.
Should we donate this bloke $50 to go towards this app?
Get it developed.
Get it done.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll back it.
Okay. Next up, we have Draft Watch.
Hey.
Now,
Everybody's favourite segment.
Yep. Now, obviously, you're going to be hearing in the second half of this year, leading up to the draft, about the top picks, who your team's going to get, how many points your team has, what picks they have to pick with, all of it. We have highlighted a few of the Adelaide boys who are currently expected to, in some circles, or have been since the end of last year's draft. Okay, well, we've already touched on Jason Horn as the potential top pick. Potential top pick is 184 centimetres, 78 kilo midfielder who's playing seniors for South Adelaide. Now, obviously, it's a lot harder. His stats are going to seem less impressive than the rest of the kids on this list, but he is playing senior football at SANFL level.
Yeah, and how old is he?
18 years old.
18.
Ugh.
And he was playing seniors for the end of last year as well. So he was playing seniors at the age of 17.
Yeah.
This kid's